Hey, good morning and welcome back to our Tenor Digital class. We have here only with Santana. So today is our third class. So we're going to discuss about Boolean algebra. Last week we discussed about the logic gate. We explained that logic gate is basically a function where we can build this function using a specific combination of transistor, especially digital transistor. And we move forward back. We learn about how the diode works, and then how the transistor works, and then we decide that if we want to use only for cut-off and also the saturated mode in the transistor, then we need a transistor that specially designed for digital board. So we're not going to use the BJT, the bipolar junction transistor, but we're going to use the FET, field effect transistor, also the what we call TTL, transistor logic. Okay. And now we're going to discuss about the logic function and how to simplify this logic function using Boolean algebra. But before we do that, why don't we just start to discuss about our last week quiz. Okay, preview quiz. Okay, start. Okay. First question, which one is not a digital transistor implementation? A, CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, yes, it's a digital transistor. TTL, the transistor logic, yes, it is a digital transistor also. And FET, field effect transistor, yes, this is a digital transistor. And IGFET is also another type of FET, so the gate field effect transistor. So the one is not a digital transistor is the BJT, bipolar junction transistor. BJT is usually used for the amplification. For example, we're going to create an amplifier. For example, like this. This is the image of reverse schematic diagram. Let's take a look at one of the example. Okay, this is an example. Now, in here we have what BC559, and also we also have the BD139, MGE2955. All of this transistor is a BJT, bipolar junction transistor, and it's designed to amplify a signal, analog signal. So it's not designed for digital transistor, but it's designed especially for analog signal. Okay. Now, next question. In digital transistor, we only have two modes, which are saturated and cut-off mode. Okay. The other one is active mode, but in active mode, we're not going to use active mode in digital transistor because it's supposed to work only in BJT, bipolar junction transistor, for amplification purposes. Next. TTL is superior to MOS in terms of its power driver. It can give much more power compared to the MOSFET. However, MOS is superior in terms of faster switch. What's the meaning of faster switch? That means that when the transistor is in the saturated mode and it want to switch to cut off, it can do that switch from saturated to from saturated to cut off much faster compared to the TTL. And then going back from saturated to cut off, etc. That's switching from cut off to saturated and saturated to cut off. So MOSFET is superior to TTL in terms of faster switch. Okay, using CMOS, NAND gate needs only 2 transistors. Oh, sorry, not 2 transistors, but 4 transistors. Remember, in NAND gates, we have 2 PMOS in parallel and 2 NMOS in series. And then the AND gate, remember what we discussed earlier, AND gate, sorry, AND gate is actually a NAND gate plus inverter. So NAND gate needs 4 transistors and the inverter needs 2 transistors. So the total is 4 plus 2. AND gate needs 6 transistors. Now, how about NOR gate? Just the same thing like NAND gate, it's just using different combination. In NAND gate, the PMOS is in parallel, but in NOR gate, the PMOS is in series. And the NMOS is the one who's in parallel. But the total number of transistors needs to build the NOR gate, it's still 4 transistors. Okay, next. How about OR gate? The same thing like AND gate. OR gate is a NOR plus inverter. NOR needs 4 transistors. Inverter needs 2 transistors. So the total is 6. Okay, next. NOT gate. NOT gate is the function logic or logic gate that needs only 2 transistors, 1 PMOS and 1 NMOS. Now, the logic, the output will be 1 only if all inputs are 1. So, let's say this is A and this is B as the input and this is output. AB could be 0, 0 or 0, 1 or 1, 0 or 1, 1. And the statement is the output will be 1 only if all inputs are 1. So only on this combination, in this combination, A and B are 1, the output will be 1. So the rest is 0, 0, 0. Okay. So what is the logic function of this relation? You can see that it's something like a multiplication. As long as there is 0, the output will be 0. 0 times 0, 0. 0 times 1, 0. 1 times 0, 1. And only 1 times 1 is 1. So it's like a multiplication. So because this is a multiplication, then the logic function is a AND gate. Okay. Now the last one, the logic of the output will be 1 only if all inputs are 1. Okay. So let's start all over again. The output will be 1 only if all inputs are 0. So this is the only combination A and B 0 will create the output 1. And the rest is 0, 0, 0. Now, what is the logic function of this relation? Okay. So only when 0 and 0, the output will be 1. So based on our truth table from last week class, this is actually a NOR gate. It's addition, although it will be inverted, NOR, not OR. For example, 1 plus 1 is 1. The inverted is 0. 1 plus 0, 1. Inverted to become 0. 0 plus 1, 1. The inverted is 0. 0 plus 0, 0. The inverted to become 1. So this is a NOR gate. Okay. Now we have discussed about last week quiz. Now we're going to discuss about today's discussion, which is a logic function and Boolean algebra. Okay. Wait, this is another one. It's supposed to. Huh. Wait, it's still the old version. Why don't we just try to download this one? Okay, still the same. So I think I forgot to transform this one. Sorry. Okay. Boolean algebra. We're going to start to. Okay, this one. Now, in this class, we're going to discuss about the Boolean algebra, starting from the axiom and also the theorem and concept of duality, and then how to solve Boolean algebra expression by using truth table. And then you're going to have the knowledge how to simplify Boolean expression, which is the logic function, by using Boolean algebra. Okay, so in here we have several terminology. First one is Boolean algebra. Boolean is just like true, false, or 1, 0. And then we also have the axiom and also the theorem. And then the concept of duality. And then in here we also have a new terminology. We call it Boolean algebra expression. But basically it's just a logic function. Just like in mathematics, function is how we process the input to find out what is the value of the output. And just like in mathematics, one function can only calculate one output, but it can have several input. Like for example, the ABC function Remember about ABC function? Minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4 times a times c, and then divided by 2a, etc. It's a function to find out what is the in the akar persamaan kuadrat. Okay, so in ABC function we have 3 inputs, which are A, B, and C, but the output could only be, that's actually what is called Boolean algebra expression. Now, first, why should be simple, or why should we simplify a function? That's because in digital computer, it contains circuits that implement Boolean function. The simpler that we can make a Boolean function, the smaller the circuit that will result. Simpler circuits, cheaper to build, consume less power, and run faster. For example, I have a function, the same function, using the same function, I can implement using 100 logic gates. But after I simplify this function, it takes only, for example, 4 logic gates. So which one you get? Of course, we're going to use or choose the simpler one, only 4 logic gates, because cheaper. You only need to buy 4 logic gates, and then it consumes less power because it's only 4 logic gates, and it runs faster. Okay. So with this in mind, we always want to reduce our Boolean function. There are 2 ways to simplify what we call K-map or Carnot map, but we're going to discuss about K-map next week. Okay. Now, there are several Boolean entities that help us to do this. First one is we need to understand in the Boolean algebra axiom. The first one is 0 times 0, always 0, and 1 times 1, always 1. So false times false, always false. True plus true, always true. And 1 times 1 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0. Well, it's just like basic mathematics. Although, because this is Boolean, we only have 0 or 1. There is no 2. Like for example, 1 plus 1 is not 2. It's still 1 because this is Boolean. It only identifies 0. Or it only understands 0 and 1. Okay. Now, 0 times 1, it is same thing like 1 times 0, which is 0. And 1 times anything is 1. And then if x is 0, then the inverted x is 1. 0 inverted to become 1. 1 to be inverted to become 0, etc. Okay. Now, this is the theorem. Previously, this is axiom. And this is the theorem. Now, in theorem, we have several laws. The first one is the null law. In null law, anything times 0 is 0. And anything plus 1 is 1. That's null law. That's because, for example, let's say for example like this. When x is 0, then 0 times 0 is 0. When x is 1, it is 1 times 0, still 0. And for 5b, when x is 0, 0 plus 1, 1. When x is 1, 1 plus 1 is 1. Okay. So the result still 1. And then the next law is identity law. X times 1 is still X. For example, 0 times 1 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. So it's still the same like the value of X. Now, X plus 0 still X. For example, 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, now the next one is idempotent law. X times X is X, and X plus X is X. For example, 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 1. Okay. Now the reverse law, X times the inverted of X is 0. For example, 0 times 1, 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And then X plus not X is 1. So inverted X, we can call it not X. X plus not X is 1. Okay. The next one is duality concept. In duality concept, we understand that on previous theorem, we have multiplication and addition. Is there a way that we can exchange between addition to multiplication or from multiplication to addition? Can we exchange this? And the answer is yes. That's what we call duality concept. So there is always a way that we can exchange and, which is the multiplication, to become or, which is addition. How we going to do that? We need another law from Boolean algebra. Before we discuss about duality concept, let's discuss about this another characteristic of in algebra. First one is commutative. In commutative, just like in mathematics, x times y is just the same like y times x. And then associative, if they are on the same degree or the same level, like multiplication, then we can just start y times z first or x times y first. Just the same. And then distributive. Now, this is the one that you have to remember. Remember, in mathematics, we have something that we call 2 times, let's say 3 plus 4 is the same like 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. This is what we call distributive in mathematics, in algebra. But in Boolean algebra, the same thing like this happen. For example, this x times y plus z, just the same thing like x times y plus x times z. So it's just like 2 times 3 plus 2 times. Okay. But in Boolean algebra, we can also have the other way around. X plus yz is the same thing like x plus y times x plus z. So let's take for example like this. Once is the same 1 plus 0 times, but this is only happen on Boolean algebra. In regular algebra, in mathematical algebra, we only have this one, 12a. But in Boolean algebra, we have additional distributive law. Okay. Now, next one is absorptive. This is actually a descendant of the distributive and also associative, but you can prove it later. X plus xy is actually x. And then x times x plus y is actually x. But you don't have to remember the absorptive because we can prove it later using the distributive and also associative. You just need to remember this one because the commutative and associative is actually given by the regular algebra. Now, another law is combining. X times y plus x times not y is x. This is actually, you don't have to remember this also, just like the absorptive. You just need to remember the distributive and associative, because this is actually the combining law is actually a descendant from distributive law and also associative law. Okay, so you don't have to remember the combining law, but you have to remember the De Morgan's law. This is the one that we discussed earlier about duality concept, how to change from multiplication to addition or from addition to multiplication is by using De Morgan's law. It's something like this: x times y and then inverted. So it's just like something like x times y inverted. It's similar like you break this naught to become x naught, y naught, but this will become plus. Just like 15b, x plus y, we're going to break this one, so it will become x naught and y naught, but this plus will become multiplication n. That's Morgan's law. And then in because we have difficulty of creating a bar on top of a or b or x and y, we can also explain that not x can be described also using the apostrophe. So x apostrophe is actually a not x. Okay. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now, in here, we're going to prove the Boolean theorem previously. For example, the first one is xy plus xy naught. This is. We're going to prove 14a. Xy plus xy naught is actually x. Okay. Now, first, what you need to do is to find, is there a similar or a same variable? We call x and y variable. We need to find, is there any same variable between these two? Yes, there is. It is an x. So xy plus xy naught, because we have the same x and x in here, we can use the associative law, sorry, distributive law to become something like this: x and then y plus y naught. This is distributive, right? Remember about distributive is 12a xy plus xz still has the same x, then we can take out the x and then y plus z. So something like this, y plus y naught. And remember, y plus y naught is 1. Remember in theorem, where is it? This one, the inverse law, x plus x naught always 1. So y plus y naught always 1. So it will become x times 1. Or x times 1 is actually x, because x times 1 here, identity law, is x. So we have proved that xy plus xy naught is actually x by using Boolean algebra. Okay, any questions so far about our first proving an example? Okay, if not, then let's move on to the second example. X plus x, y. Just like in our previous example, we have the same x in here. So we can use the distributive law, take out x. This will become 1 plus y. Because this will become x times 1, which is actually x, and plus x times y. And then this will become x times 1, and will become x. Okay. Or we can use another way for the second example by using distributive law, but different. Remember about this, x plus xy is actually similar like this. 12b. X plus yz is actually x plus y times x plus z. So we can use that to become x. Okay, x plus x times x plus y. Okay, so the distributive law from 12b. X plus yz, x plus xy is similar like x plus x plus y in here, times x plus z, times x plus y. Now, x plus x is always x. Okay, and then x plus y. Then we can use the same distributive law, x times x plus xy. X times x is x plus xy. We're going in circle. So sometimes when we choose the wrong theorem or the wrong way, we can just go in circle. So you have to, well, to do more exercise to understand that when you find this equation, x plus xy, you have to understand how to simplify it, meaning that you understand which theorem that you should choose to simplify function. Okay. This is the answer from previous proving theorem. Now, the Morgan's law, well, unfortunately, we cannot prove the Morgan's law, but we can prove it by using truth table. For example, like this. This is x, y. This is x naught and y naught. And then x plus y naught, x plus y naught, 0 plus 0 is 0. Inverted to become 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Inverted to become 0. 1 plus 0 is 0, 1 to become 0. Inverted 0, 0. And then x naught times y naught is just like multiplying this one. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 0, 0. 0 times 1, 0. 0 times 0 is 0. It's the same. So you can see that x plus y naught is actually the same like x naught times y naught. Okay, the same thing like in the second De Morgan's law. X times y naught is actually x naught plus y naught. It's x times y naught. 0 times 0, 0. Inverted to become 1. 0 times 1, 0. 1. 1 times 0, 1. 1 times 1, 1 becomes 0. And then x naught plus y naught. 1 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 0, 1. 0 plus 1, 1. 0 plus 0, 0. It's the same. Now, basically, the Morgan's law is used to convert or change from and statement to become or statement, or from or statement to become and statement. Okay. Now, see the truth table. Truth table is the table that maps input combination to a specific function. Remember, because this is a function, the output can only be one. We can have many inputs, but only one output. That's function. Okay. Now, based on this truth table, we can see that when A is 0, B is 0, C is 0, the output is 0. And then when A is 0, B is 0, C 1, the output is 0. Okay, wait. It says that my system resource is very low. Well, it's really use Zoom. Okay. Okay. Next. Now, in truth table, we can describe the content of truth table by using the table itself, or we can use something that we call canonic function. Canonic function is by combining all combination of the input. In canonic form, we can use two types of function. First one is SOP, sum of product. The second one is POS, product of sum. Okay, my laptop is still very hot, so I think I need to turn off my camera from the time being. Very sorry about this. Okay, back to our truth table. So truth table is a table that maps input to output. And remember, because this is a function can have many inputs, but only one output. And then we can express this truth table by using the table itself. This is the table. Or we can use the canonic form. The canonic form is how we represent the content of truth table by using all combination of inputs. There are two types canonic form. The first one is SOP, sum of product, and the second one is POS, product of sum. This is an example of SOP, sum of product. Or in bahasa penjumlahan dari perkalian. Sum ada jumlah. So like something plus something plus something is SOP. Now, because we need to represent all combination from the table, then we can see that from the first combination, do we have the output of 1? No, it's 0. How about the second combination, 0, 0, 1? No, the output is 0. How about the third combination, 0, 1, 0? No, it's still 0. Now the rest are 1. In SOP, we try to find the output 1. Because the output 1 is in here, then we can represent this truth table by using all combination of the input when the output is 1. This is A0. A0 we will going to represent with A0 or 0, 1, 1, and then 1, 0, 0, and then 1, 0, 1, and then 1, 1, 0, and then the last one is 1, 1, 1. Now we're going to represent the 0 and 1 by using the input's name. This is the A, this is B, and this is C. Because A is 0, then we can call it A not B, C. Because B is 1, C is 1. And then this is A, this is B, and this is C. A is 1, so we call it A. B is 0, so we call it B not. C is 0, C not. And this is also A, B, C. So A, B not, C. And this is A, B, C, A, B, C not. And this is A, B, C. And all of them are 1, so A, B, C. There's no not there. So SOP is A not BC plus A B not C not plus A B not C plus A B C not plus ABC. This is how we represent the truth table, either by using the table itself or by using canonic form. And in this case, we use the SOP. Now, how about if I want to use the POS? In POS, we're going to try to find the output when it is 0. So this is the output 0. Now, let's try to erase first, because it's too crowded here. Okay, because POS try to find 0 and SOP try to find 1. Now let's find out where is the output of 0. This is the output when 0. So the function using POS is 0 plus 0 plus 0, the first combination, times second combination is 0 plus 0 plus 1. This is the second combination. And then times what? 0 plus 1 plus 0. The third combination. And then we're going to represent this 0 and 1 by using the input's name. So it will become A plus B plus C times, this one to become A plus B plus C naught, because this is 1. Remember, POS 0 is active, but in SOP 1 is active. So that's why when A is 0 in SOP, it will create A naught. But in POS, it's the other way around. When this is 0, then it will become just A. And then the last one is times, this is A plus B naught plus C. Okay, so this is the how we represent the truth table by using the canonic form, either using SOP or using POS. Let's take another example. Let's say I have a smaller truth table. This is A, this is B, and this is the function output 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. And the output is 1, 1, 0, 1. Just example like this. Now, this is the truth table. We can also represent this truth table by using its canonic form. First one is by using SOP. Remember, SOP try to find 1, or 1 is active. So F is, this is 1. So it's 0 times 0 plus, this is also 0 times 1 plus, this is also 1 times 1, or this is A, but because in SOP 1 is active and this is 0, so this is A naught. And B, because this B is 0 and SOP 1 is active, this is B naught plus A naught B plus A B. That's it for SOP. And how about POS? And POS, try to find 0. And this is the only 0, which is 1 plus 0. So it will become, this is A naught plus B. Okay, as we can see in here, sometimes SOP can become a little bit more dramatic because this is actually a simple truth table, but we need 3 parts in here. But in POS, based on POS, we can only have A naught plus B. Very simple. Okay. Now, instead of using A naught BC, ABC naught, ABC, etc., we can also represent this canonic form by using its member. For example, like this. This is 0 because all the value here is 0. This is member 1, member 2, member 3, member 4, member 5, member 6, member 7. Now, from our previous example, so this is M0, M1, M2, and then the rest is M3, M4, M5, M6, M7. So the SOP member is M3 to M7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the member of our SOP. So instead of creating by using A naught BC, ABC naught, AB naught C, ABC naught, ABC, etc., we can just identify the member number, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, how about if we try to simplify this long function? A naught BC, AB naught C naught, AB naught C. Okay. Just like in our previous example, we try to find what is the same element in this 5 parts. Okay, let's try to find out. This is A naught B. This is AB naught, no, not the same. Oh, this we have AB naught in here, and also we have AB naught in here. Okay, and also we have AB in here and AB in here. So we can just take out that same variable to become something like this. AB naught CC, this one. Take out the AB naught to become this. AB naught, and then C plus C naught, and then this still remain the same. And this is this two to become AB C naught plus C. And then remember C plus C naught is 1, so we can remove this one, and C plus C naught is 1. So now we have AB naught from here, A naught BC from here, and then AB from here. And then we can see that this is A and this is A also. So we can take out the A and then B plus B naught. And this is 1. So this will A. And then we have A plus A not BC. So we have A plus A not BC. Now, how can we simplify this one? This is A and this is A not. Just by using the distributive function. You can see that this is A plus A not, okay, times A plus BC. This is the function, right? Just think this as a one variable. So A plus A not times A plus BC. A plus A not is 1. 1 times anything is anything. So it will become just this, A plus BC. So this is the simplest function of our truth table, A plus BC. Now, how can we implement this function by using logic gate? Now, if we want to synthesize this function to become the circuit, then we need to understand what is the latest operator in this function. The latest one is plus. The latest one means what is the operator that we are going to use the last. Because multiplication is on the higher level compared to addition, then we need to do B times C first. We need to multiply B and C first. Then the last one is to add the value of B and C with A. So plus or addition is the last operator. Because this is the last operator and plus is similar like OR, then we have OR gate in here. And this OR gate comes from A plus BC. And then BC is a multiplication. A multiplication comes from a AND gate. This is AND gate, which is multiplication. So it's come from B and C. So we need only 2 logic gates to implement this function A plus BC. One is OR gate, second one is AND gate. Okay. Now, how about POS? Just like in SOP, we can identify the member. We can identify by using the member number. However, in here we have we call it max term. In here we call it min terms. This is max term. And remember different. In here we have small m, but in here we have capital M, the big M. M0, member number 1, member number 2, etc. Remember, there is also one difference. In here we have sigma, and in here we have big sigma. Now, this is the implementation of the SOP POS. This is the SOP, the canonic, without simplification. This is the POS implementation from here. And then this is the minimized SOP. As you can see in here, the canonic SOP needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AND gate and 1 OR gate. And in POS, we need 3 OR gate and 1 AND gate. But still, the minimized SOP is the best. Only 2 gates. One is AND gate and the other one is OR gate. Okay. Now, let's take a look at a sample of our perhaps last year mid exam. Okay. This one. Let's take. Okay. How about this one? Now, this is the mid exam from 2017. The number 1 and number 2 is what we already discussed today. Now we're going to also number 3 actually. Okay. Now we're going to do or discuss this mid exam. Okay. First is prove that below equation are true by using Boolean algebra and also draw its Venn diagram. Okay. Now the first one is actually we already discussed about this, right? That's okay. We try to discuss it again. Let's use the red. X plus xy is, we have the same x here, so we can take out x to become x times xy, and then this one becomes x1 to become x. And the Venn diagram is something like this. This is x, this is y, x, and then xy is this one. So the result will be just x, right? Because x is here, and then xy is here, then the union is actually x itself. Now, second one. Okay, this is quite long. So we have A naught, B naught, and also we have A, B naught in here. So we can just take out that one. So we're going to have A naught, B naught, and then C naught plus C, plus, and then in here we have A C naught, then we can have A C naught, B naught plus B. This is one, plus A C naught, this is also one. So it's actually A naught, B naught plus A C naught. Okay. Now, how about its Venn diagram? Okay, it's a little bit complex. Let's try to remove this one first. Now, the first one is, this is A, B, C. A, B, C. A naught, B naught, C naught is actually which one? A naught, B naught, C naught is everything. It's A naught. It's everything except this part. And then A naught, B naught, C is what? A naught is the outside of this, and B naught is the outside of this, and then C is here. So is in here. Then A, B naught, C naught. Okay, you can just do it by yourself. Okay. Just by using unit 4 Venn diagram, and then you need to union all of these 4 Venn diagram and prove it that the result is the same like A naught, B naught, and A naught, and A, C. So we have 2 in here. A, B, A, C. Okay. Now, the second question, use Boolean algebra to simplify this function. Now, what should we do? We have the same C in here. So we can take out C. So for A, F is A naught, B naught, plus A, plus B times C. Right? Now we're going to simplify this part. Let's take, for example, this one first by using distributive. A plus, sorry, A naught plus A times B naught plus A this one plus B times C. This one is 1. This one is A plus B naught. So we have A plus B naught plus B and C. Then we have B plus B naught is 1. So A plus 1 is 1 times C. So the result is C. Okay. Now, how about B? Let's clear out this one. Now, 2B. A naught B plus A B naught plus A B. We have not in here, also have not in here, right? A naught B plus A B naught plus A B. Okay. Now we can use the De Morgan's law. So this will become A naught B naught. To break this one to become, and then A B naught plus A B naught, and then naught coming from this fraction. And remember, a function that will be inverted twice is the function. So it become A naught B naught times A B naught plus A B. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Now we can understand that this has A and this also has A. So it will become A naught B naught times, take out the A, then it will become A B naught plus B, right? B naught plus B. And B naught plus B is 1, and A plus 1 is A. So we have A naught B naught times A. Now we can use De Morgan's law to break this knot. So it will become A naught naught plus B naught, like this, times A. And it will become A plus B naught times A. And we can use the derivative law. It will become A times A plus A B naught. And then we can use the distributive law, A times 1 plus B naught. 1 plus B naught is 1, then the result is A. So 2A, the simplest function is C, and 2B is A. Okay, we're going to skip this one for next week. Today, then we still have time. What is the function for G? Please use SOP. Okay. SOP, that means we should use something like this. So, which member has 1? Here, here, and also here. So it's 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 6. Okay. And then this is for A, and this is for B. What is the function for, sorry, this is not a function, this is also a function. Or you can just use the what? S naught, D naught, R naught plus S naught, D, R naught plus S, D naught, R plus S, D, R naught. Or we can just simply by using this, it's the same. And B, please express the function for H by using POS. Okay, so POS is this. So what is the member number that has 0? This is 0, this is 0, and this is 0. So this is member number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 4, 5, 7. Or you can also use the canonic form by using S plus D naught R times, and then S naught plus D plus R times S naught plus D plus R naught times S naught D naught R naught. That's it for A and B. But now you need to simplify for 3C. Simplify the function G using Boolean algebra. Okay. So we have what? S naught, D naught, R naught plus S naught, D, R naught plus S, D, R you need to try to find which part has the same variable. Okay, this one is S not D not, no, SD no, SD not, no SD. How about S and R? Okay, so we have in here S not, R not. We can directly eliminate the D because D not plus D is 1. And then what else? Okay, I think we have this. D not R, D R not. Okay. And what else? We can use this is S, and then D not R plus D R not, and this is actually surrogate D SOR R S not R not plus this. And then you can use distributive function. Well, it's quite long. Try to distribute function by using S naught and R naught, and then S is S naught R naught plus S, okay, times S naught R naught D SOR R, etc. Okay, it's quite long. I think we need to skip this one. Okay. And then what else? We have the mid exam from 4 years ago. Okay, almost similar. Prove biological equation is true by drawing its Venn diagram. Oh, so you don't need by using Venn diagram. So you don't need to prove by using Boolean algebra, just by using Venn diagram. It's much easier. And then identify function f. No, we haven't discussed about it yet. Okay, same thing like the G and H previously. Then this one is schema. Okay. Okay, I think that's it for today. Do you have any questions so far? Well, if not, then please don't forget to do the quiz number 3 because it will be counted as a component in your final score. It's supposed to be open at 10 actually. Yes, 10 more minutes. Remember, the time limit is 10 minutes and only one attempt allowed. So there is no reattempt. Okay, so only one time. And that one time is 10 minutes. And we will open starting from 10 a.m. this morning. And the due date is tonight, 11:59 p.m. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you for coming. We have, Santa, Aldi, Jaka, Kemal, and Kalam. Okay, I'll see you next week. And please don't forget to do the quiz number 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.